Hi, everybody. It's been a long time since I've done a live. I think it's the right time to come into the market. So I'm back. I'm going to try to do 2 to 3 shows a week, maybe more if possible, to be on at around 8 o'clock at night. Gary's going to try to get back on and give you some alpha too. What he sees, I'm going to just show you the charting. It's been a long time. I actually took a break from it. I was getting burnt out. We had a few issues, as you know, with one of our investment projects, and hopefully we can move past that and actually get our money back in. So let's start by first taking a look at the markets. Let me share my screen here. All right, we're going to first look at, I think we're about to get our first real alt season of this bull run. So yeah, we have been, yeah, waiting a long time for this. You can see Bitcoin dominance dropped off here. That was a good pump for a while. That ended last Sunday, I'd say. That's when I got back into the market and started trading again. I hadn't been trading at all. I've decided I'm going to put $50 a week Canadian into two different accounts. I'm using Femex and MEXC, doing two different trading styles. Uh, the MEXC, I am using the 5 minute RSI and doing high leverage trades when it's following a trend. So basically, I'll show you what I did. I do my lines here, and let's see if we can find, go back to the 5 minute chart. So last weekend I started it. At the time, I had $30, I believe. If I look at my phone, I'm now up to $148. I got in on the Friday and just did a few trades in the short term. Yeah, here it is here where Friday was. And I would enter, I do the 5 minute thing, and I was looking at my 5 minute stochastic, waited for it to get to the bottom. I think this is my first trade, and I did a 25x. And when I saw this dot here publish, I got out, let it go down again. And I didn't enter here. I waited and I waited and waited until I got to like this dot here, did a 25x and let it ride. Um, then comes Saturday, Sunday, I got out. I always get out on Sunday nights just because that's when the CME gap closes. And the CME gap, if you haven't read it, if you have an Android phone, you can use AI to tell you. But it's basically when the Chicago Mercantile Exchange closes Friday in the afternoon, whatever happens between there and Sunday, whether it goes down or up, they expect the market to go back to that point that was on the Friday when it closed. So the weekends are a good time to either take money or you can lose it too, because that's when real crypto traders are in and not the big market. So there can be larger swings. Um, as you see, Friday, Saturday. Let's go over here. Sorry, that wasn't where I got it. I guess it was over here. And basically all week I didn't do anything this week because I saw the markets were going to come down, which they did. So if I go to my 4 hour research, we were climbing here, and then you can see Tuesday it dropped off. Now we crossed this line today, so I put some money back in. I kind of missed the boat here because I was working and couldn't jump in when I wanted to. So I haven't entered a MEXC trade yet. I am still waiting on this stochastic RSI to go down below 10 down here. And I want my oscillator from Luxalgo to publish a green dot. I don't want to take a green dot when it's near the top because this, look, you can see what happened. So I wait. It's hard to be patient, but that's what I do. Um, I always try to look at my 4 hour chart or 8 hour chart to see which way the market's actually trending. Um, and I'm expecting a huge bounce because we have entered a phase where Bitcoin's at its high all-time highs and people are going to be jumping around. Bitcoin dominance dropped here. When it drops, the alts go. As you can see, they did a flush out. And this is where they got all the leverage traders in that were into like leverage trades on any of the alts. They started dropping them. So anyone that had longs on it got flushed out. Now, when that happened, people started shorting. Then they flush out the people that are shorting. And this is how the exchanges make all their money. Like it's not like they're trading like companies that have real value, some of these coins. So it can sometimes be confusing. And you got to remember that it's not like the stock market. Although the stock market has changed this bull run a lot, I don't think you're going to see the huge drop off on Bitcoin like you did previous bull runs. So they're going to be smaller fluctuations. This might be your last chance to get into an altcoin run. And I think it's going to start this week. I kind of see the dominance. Um, Let me see if I can get a chart here. I see it going down here. It'll bounce a bit to flush people out and then go back, and that'll grab, like, it'll be the parabolic run of the bull run. So you want to get small trades in if you're using Phemex or a trading platform like that where you can up your leverage and add to position easily. Um, get in it small. Like I got a couple 2X's on a coin at margin and another 2X on a regular margin account. As far as MEXC goes, I just entered a 2X on my coin margin. Planning on, and that's on Solana, by the way. So this isn't where I entered. This was last time. But if I go to the 5-minute chart, I can see we're in an upward trend. We've broken what I drew on my 4-hour trend right here, or sorry, right there. So we're back on the upswing. So now it's times where I can do my 25X's or my on my 5-minute oscillator. Otherwise, when it's downtrending, I just stay away. As you can see, it's starting to come down again. And again, I'm going to wait till it hits here. And you can do that on any coin. You always go to your 4, your 8-hour, your daily. You want to see where that coin is trending. So let's go to Cardano. Grab a trend line on it. And that's only a 2-touch trend line, but here's an area of, resistance. Should probably be a little smaller than that. More like that. You see it's hit it there, there, and there. So when it hits this area, that's probably where I would enter on this one. You got a trend line, you got a area of support, and then once it crosses, let me go, this longer term trend, that's when it's really going to go. So that's actually one I'd be watching very closely. I'm actually going to set an alert right now. Right here. So I get a notification on my phone. Once it crosses that, I'm going to make a trade, probably a long-term trade. Uh, right now, the weekly's at the top. The daily's almost at the bottom, so it's just about, like I said, it'll probably hit the bottom in here somewhere, and then it's going to skyrocket. And I think it will bust through this line at that point. And again, when you do decide you're going to go in, when it gets close to there, go to your 5-minute chart. Don't enter when it's at the top here, because you can see what happened for that first few bit. You lost money. And if you'd have been patient and just grabbed it here, you wouldn't have to worry as much. But as you can see, it's going back down. So you work your way across. So as you can see, the 15 minutes at the top, 30, 1 hour, the 4 hours on its way up. But you do have a lot of time to work your way into Cardano. If you're doing spot trades, you're at a point where you're close to entry. You can see it already touched that resistance. So it might be one to get in. Super's always been one I've done well on. Let's see, do a trend line on this one. And I just try to keep it simple like this. And then we'll do a Fibonacci. Again, we're on the 4 hour here. So you can see it's running right along the 382. I usually don't take the 50 much to mean much. The 618 is definitely a bounce zone when you're doing trades. I don't think it's going to go there because the markets are starting to reverse. XRP is going to be a long-term investment. I think it's a big one to get into. If you're doing like a weekly investment, that's one I'd probably suggest buying a little bit of. And this is, you can see there's a long thing, uptrend. So it's just doing this little retracement and then it's going to bounce and go. I would expect it to go up and then there's going to be a fake out where it comes down and then it's going to skyrocket. You might even see $12, $14 on that one. AVAX following the exact same pattern. You'll notice most of them follow the same pattern unless they're, something that has some more value to it. But they are altcoins and they're not Bitcoin. See if I have ETH on here. ETH would be, see, as you can see, it took a huge growth spurt. Right now it's at 3,700. See where our fib would put us. Right now, I'd suggest if you have some cash to deploy, just look at zones to enter each coin you want and pick zones to do it. Don't go too high with leverage yet. Wait for the market to fully go. If you enter this weekend, I expect to pump this weekend, which I'm doing. I'm going to exit on Sunday night for sure, expecting it to drop for Monday morning and then watch what it does. Just my point of view. So yeah, just keep your eye on the charts, stick to the basics. If you have any questions, just message us at Blue Collar Crypto on either Instagram, Facebook, or WhatsApp. Gary or I'll try to get back to you. Gary's going to try to get on too. He's been busy also. Uh, there's a lot of stress and we all needed a break from it for a while and we've done that. Hopefully now we can get back to lives again. And yeah, thanks for joining.